Daryl lucky.
He's got things to buy, okay?
And also email.
Needs a top up. Hi, and welcome to this very special episode of Couch Chemistry. I'm Phoebe, I'm content lead at PH Digital, and I'm here today with a few of our lead digital strategists, Kenny, Anne-Laure, and Nikki, who has a special little guest with her. Hello, Daryl.
Personality hire.
Today we're sharing our hot tips and unfiltered takes for Black Friday 2025. We all know Black Friday last year was really tough. High ad costs, really big discounting, slim margins, and reluctant shoppers saw ROAS dip, I think it was to below 50% of what it was in 2020. And everyone felt that. 2025 is a bit different. We're seeing a lot more positive signals. In Q1, online spend in New Zealand was about 1.5 billion, which was, I think, 7% up year on year. We've also obviously got more data to draw from, smarter digital tools and platforms, and growing mobile commerce. That doesn't erase the challenges. Margins are still really tight. Discounts are at an all-time high. That's what we're here to talk about today. So, 8 weeks to Black Friday. Where does that position brands in New Zealand?
I hope by now everyone's got a very clear plan of what they're going to do, but also a bit of expecting a bit of flexibility in case they need to change, in case they need to pivot. Having that thought in, what do you think, Anne-Laure?
Yeah, no, I agree. And to the point that Phoebes has made around consumers expecting high discounting, we've created that monster over the last couple of years by needs be. And that's not going to change in 8 weeks. Yeah. That's next year problem. But essentially what businesses need to do right now is make sure that they feed the monster with their high expectations by having perceived high value discounts, but still maintaining that strategic profit margin safety.
Super easy then. So so basically you're describing a scenario where customers are expecting, we've conditioned them to expect enormous discounts. And all we have to do is maintain profitability with strategic offers.
There's definitely ways to go about it. So that's doing bundling, making sure that if you have high ticket value items, that's on the lower discount. But if you've got old stock that has a higher discount. So ultimately what it comes to is you've got messaging out in market that says up to 50% off, but you're still protecting the profit margins with your high ticket items.
Nikki, so compared to this time last year, and I suppose the shifts that have happened over the last 12 months, is there something that gives you the most confidence heading into Black Friday that it's not going to be quite a repeat of last year? You can be honest.
We've seen heaps of discounting this year, which I personally don't think is a huge bad thing. Yes, for profits, but as you've mentioned, everyone expects it. So everyone expects that to happen for Black Friday. We've seen consumer spending decrease over August, July, September. They're waiting for a big discount for Black Friday. And I think you can either argue against it or just lean in. It's going to be mostly your current audience purchasing. So just remembering that. It's not for driving new customer acquisition unless you've got a really strong offer. So like Anne-Laure said, put your old stock on sale, but give your customers what they want, because then you'll see the profit.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you're making, Nikki, around it's going to be mostly your new customers that come in and purchase. So we've seen over the last 5 years of data that with November, the entire month of November sales, 80% of that's coming from your existing customer base. So that's who you need to be speaking to. We'd love to say, yes, success should be lifetime value and acquiring new customers and growth with new customers and lower CAC, but
it's not the time.
It's not the time for it. Yeah.
And you should have heaps of data to go off from all of your other sales that you've been running. Or yeah, you know what works.
It sounded very pointed. It's like, from all your other sales, we know you've been running.
Well, you should know. You should plan. Yeah.
You know, if your 30% off autumn winter stock didn't work in August, it's likely not going to work in November as well. So you have to be a little bit clever, learn from your own data, learn from what your customers are doing. We saw some really big brands do really huge discounts last year. So if you're not matching that, your customers will go to the competitors. So yeah, it's just taking the data from your own platforms and around you, and everything will be fine.
So I'm not saying that I tuned out, but I just realized that I didn't introduce the bell concept.
Am I boring?
No, I promise you're not. I promise I was actually gripped by that. But I just realized I was supposed to say in the intro that I have a little bell for if I am finding you have lost me or you're not engaging me. Because I would like everyone to know that, these expert strategists are the ones on the tools. And
you're borrowing.
And I am not. So I'm kind of like the filter for, wrap it up, you guys. Make me understand.
And we've got a bell too if we run out of alcohol.
Okay, so they've got a bell if they need a top up.
I think that's the best combination. I waffle along and just naturally. I don't think alcohol.
This is for anyone, just to sort of wrap up the kind of context I suppose we're in. How do you, so I feel like you're basically saying we can't expect Black Friday results that resemble the sort of golden age of 2020, 2021, even if the sort of, there's more shoppers, there's a bit more money in the market. How would you guys sort of say that brands need to reframe success this year?
I think success for this year is going to come down to healthier profit numbers because of last year's so many sales going on that really eroded profit margins. So I think for this year, really, really making sure that you're making profit out of the sale will be key.
Yeah, just knowing that your average order value is going to go down, which means that the number of sessions you need to send to your site needs to be higher. The number of orders you need to get needs to be higher to be able to make the same amount of profit as you would with a higher average order value. Would you guys agree?
I would say that definitely depends on the business situation.
Yeah.
So if the business is struggling financially and they need that spike in revenue and they need that revenue push, yes. If this is a business that is not in dire straits, I would say definitely be a bit more strategic about how you go about doing your offers. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say they need to measure success against, is the individual business situations.
I know I shouldn't, but I really want to jump 17 slides ahead to our road test these scenarios, because I just want to give it to you guys now. So, okay, we can talk about Black Friday tactics later, but just because of, it's becoming really clear to me that your whole Black Friday strategy utterly depends on your situation as a business. And we can talk about, the best sort of roadmap as much as we want. But I think that I'm just curious to sort of just hear your guys quick takes on these business scenarios. So I'm just going to throw one out there. So Nikki, you are a mid-sized fashion label. You're a New Zealand brand with limited ad budget and you've got a loyal audience. What would you do this Black Friday?
So I've got a loyal audience. Yeah. I love a loyal audience. You have. I'm all good then. You just have to lean in so heavily into your other platforms if you don't have a big budget. Essentially, CPMs, which is the cost per reaching people on paid, increases cost per 1,000 impressions. Cost
per meal, which is not a mil, it's 1,000.
That increases up. So if you don't have a strong ad budget, you're going to be lost. So it's really leaning into email, leaning into SMS if you're on that buzz, really being specific with your offers again to what you know your customers are wanting. Especially with email, you can go really segmented. I'm saying too much, and then and then yeah, crafting your creative to be for those specific customers as well. You can kind of get really creative with your creative, essentially.
I'm just imagining like some little word bubble being like creative with your creative. I get it though. Like it's just so you're just like thank the universe for your loyal audience and use the most cost effective marketing for you and to reach them, which is like your EDMs, your SMS, and giving them what they want rather than trying to compete with your competitors where your ads are just going to like fall off, and the point is to like not get new customers right now anyway.
Absolutely. And then you can also lean into loyalty programs as well. So double rewards weekends, double reward days, that kind of thing.
I got something to add.
You're going to disagree with me?
No, 100% agree with you. But just kind of like a technical bit, tactical.
Yeah.
English, please, Jesus.
Tactical.
Tactical bit. To kind of add on to that, because when you said using your other non-paid channels to support it, if we know people are planning a lot more this year with what they're going to be buying for Black Friday, so using your organic channels, email to kind of like tease that bit up front with your loyal audiences, like, this is coming, guys. Hold of your monies for us. Then I think that's a good tactic for pre-sale as well.
So that's like kind of pulling from what Kenny was saying earlier about just sort of like going, like starting to tease early, warming the audience. It doesn't mean like starting your sale on the 1st of November, but it's kind of like, hey, we're here, be front of mind. We've got some like special stuff coming for Black Friday, and it's not just like the dregs of last year's like stuff that didn't sell. It's like create some excitement, and
Exactly. And it's about reminding them of what your offer is. So I saw most success on email 2 or email 3 or email 4 of my campaigns versus just sending out popping one ad campaign on Facebook and calling it a day. It's just not going to work.
It takes a little bit of
Yeah, I think if you've got such a loyal audience, you can reward them.
Yes.
And you can reach out to them, segment your database based on spending or behavior, and just say, hey, we've got a deal coming out for you. You'll get first access. He's something special for a special customer.
On that note, 100%, leads, getting new email addresses into your database is a really cost-effective way to use a limited ad budget. Using like an exclusive, you'll get first access into the Black Friday sale.
Like a sort of VIP, like, you get it 48 hours before everyone else. Yeah. So you are actually, kind of like ticking an extra box with the kind of resources you have. That's really smart. Okay, I have to move on from our fashion friends. Anne-Laure, you are a big box outdoor retailer. You sell tents, barbecues, camping gear. You have tight margins and you need volume. What would you do?
Well, of course you need volume there. So my recommendation needs to kind of make sure that you still get that profit margin that you need is to segment and stagger out your offers. Tents and barbecues, depending on what kind of tents and barbecues you sell. Those are generally your premium products.
Yeah. Let's say that's like a big ticket purchase, I would say. Heading into summer, that's like, that's the family's Christmas present.
If a tent is $1,000, 10% is quite a big chunk off, right? So from a tactical perspective, I have your premium big ticket items have its own discounts. Then layer that with bundles between the lower discount values. So you'll have like your camping chairs, your gas canisters, two sleeping bags, those lower value ones, bundle them up to have a higher average order value. But then also, because you'll have big ticket items, shipping needs to be considered as well. So if you do have that shipping offer of meeting a threshold, then you can also get shipping free. I definitely say having those different groupings and those different layers based on the products that you've got that you need to push, it would be key.
Basically, if someone's getting a barbecue and you're giving them free shipping, you want them to also have bought like 3 sleeping bags and a gas canister.
I don't think I would ever buy a barbecue for Christmas, but let's say I would.
Well, this is not.
But you're the chef.
So Black Friday,
That does
buy my
surprise me
own.
too. Right.
But because these are big ticket items, I would go live with my sale early because these are high priced items. If I was a buyer, I would already have 3-4 brands lined up that I would buy from.
Totally.
So if I went live with my sale early, I'd capture that sale straight away.
It also sounds, pass the mic. It also sounds very much like a gamification.
Someone talk to me about gamification.
Well, essentially, it's if you think about any game, there is a goal, there's an end point, and then you get some kind of reward. So it's essentially that if you get to this point, you get this reward. So you'll see that a lot with spend and saves. If you do spend and saves, then if you then on your carts as well as your checkouts, you need to have those widgets that kind of track the progress of that. But yeah, that's essentially gamification. But I don't necessarily agree with Kenny around the going early for the big outdoor guys. I do think front footing that and having that messaging going out there for the same as with fashion is to make sure that you utilize your organic to kind of say that these are the opportunities that are going to come up. I would start it a bit earlier compared to fashion, but I won't start it too early because outdoor is not, these are not necessary needs. These are wants for a hobby for December.
I know you want to talk about washing machines and fridges, so just do it. Let me just change my scenario. You sell washing machines and fridges. I know you're passionate about these. I know no, it's helpful. Okay, let's say you sell essentials.
Essentially, I don't see these products as essentials. These are wants. These are for hobbies. These are for holidays, right? People know that Christmas is also going to come up and it's going to go on sale again. So, and that's going to be in the more immediate time that they need it. So I would just use the strategy around phasing it for profitability, but using the up to percentage off to make it look higher value. So your big ticket items would be 15 to 25% off, right? But your lower value items, you'll bundle up for that. Yes. But when it comes to the old stock you want to push, you can push that at a higher percentage. And then your headline message is up to 50% off. That's what people are going to see within their ads. Yeah. If you have that messaging within your email and your organic ahead of time, priming people, like we said, people are planning. Necessarily going early with your sales offer is not necessarily going to get you the returns you are looking for in that moment, because we know that people get overloaded with messages and they've been trained that in Black Friday period, things are the better offers come over that period as well.
Okay, tactics for this year. Someone needs a top up.
That was quite, what's the word?
That was a bit aggressive.
Aggressive. No, but in a great way.
My goodness, the clunkies. Hello, Christine Kearney.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, CEO of PH Digital, Christine Kearney.
Who requires a top up?
Does Daryl require a?
I was going to say, I think Daryl does require.
Thank you.
I'm sure he will figure it out.
What's his sight like? What's his snout like?
I honestly don't think he's got the best eyesight, to be honest. Daryl, lucky man. Oh,
Okay, that smells terrible. Thank you, Daryl, for being here. Okay, tactics for this year, you guys. Let's get down to it. So, with discounting already so high, what can brands do to maximize conversions without decimating margins?
I think try to make it fun, try to make it different. Everyone's expecting sales all around. But even if you know, gamify your experience or throw in a gift with purchase or something that's sort of different, I think that will stand out a little bit more this year. I'm sure Anna-Marie's got a different opinion on this.
You know me too well. I do have something to say, but that's agreeing with you. Having that something that's a little bit different as opposed to just positioning it as, oh, sale, 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 sale. Yes, we want that on the messaging. We want to be clear around it being Black Friday. But if you've got items that are poised for summer, being used in summer, have messaging around get ready for summer with this discount.
Can I just say one more thing?
I feel like I need to like give you guys the bell
Yeah.
to be like.
I would also say go live early. Go early and go long. That's my opinion.
Oh, no, right. No. So when you say go early, what do you mean? Do you mean like October? Like when do you want people to go live?
I'd say probably late October, early November. Yeah, I do want to buy a bunch of stuff and I'm ready to buy. I've got my list already.
this is interesting.
So there's two parts to this.
It's ready.
There's two parts to this. I think in terms of comms, make sure you stay top of mind. So post organically, reach out to your database, clean up your database, stay active to stay top of mind, but also go live early. Like there's peaks between July and August, according to Meta and Google. People are browsing and shopping since October. And we've seen from last year, brands going live as early as October. So yes, both in terms of comms, communicate more, stay top of mind, but also in terms of sale, go live early, steal that share of wallet.
Yeah. I don't agree with that. I definitely agree with the part of staying top of mind, having that heavy, tough delivery of your budget to invest into the funnel to be able to retarget to, since we know around 80% is your existing customers. But if you go on for too long, that diminishes the brand. If you go too hard for too long, that diminishes the actual value you get out of Black Friday as a business. So your profit tanks.
Because you're paying for ads for longer and.
Yes. So essentially, your discounting is up. Your spend per product purchased that's been on a heavy discount goes up. So it just squeezes that profit margin from you.
Two things can be true at once, I would say. Yes, and I think it really depends on the business, doesn't it? For example, if we go back to the outdoor equipment, often their customers are really heavily buying in spring for the summer season. So you could have a big spring sale, for example, versus for fashion, I would say, Kenny might disagree with this, but I think there's more bang for buck if you really go hard on your discounts over that Black Friday weekend period, or even with technology. People are expecting their biggest discount on Friday. So they're going to wait until then. Again, customers are different. It doesn't matter. You can't pin every buying behavior on one customer, but a lot of them are going to wait. I actually think, I'm going to disagree with both of you, that there's more. No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I think there's a lot of value in extending your Black Friday weekend sale. So obviously Cyber Monday, do a last blast.
So talk to me about Cyber Monday, because at that point, it's like, particularly if you've sort of done these like staggered offers where it's like you start at 20 and then you go to 30 and then like kind of your sale section's on 50 or whatever it is, where does that leave you to go? And what's your objective at that point?
I think Cyber Monday is just an extension of what you're already doing on Black Friday. I don't think it needs to be different. I actually disagree kind of with having staggered discounts because, again, I think people wait. You've got two types of customers. Again, you've got people that like to buy as soon as they know it's on sale because they don't want it to go out of stock. But then you've also got people, if they know that you're having a staggered discount, they'll wait again till the last very point where they know they're getting it for the cheapest. So yeah, I would just extend out, just send an email. I know I keep going on about emails, but honestly, send an email out that says
It's your
your
existing
20%
customer
off.
base, yeah.
It's your existing customer base. Your 20% off sale ends at midnight. You better, get your ass in.
I feel like there's room here to sort of, talk about like the gamification, right? Because it's that, like that the staggered discount in a way is, we are sort of like, as consumers, that's like a gamification in itself. It's like,
I think we need to get this right in the first place, is that I never said staggered discounts. I said phased offers.
oh, okay.
Well, can you
So
explain the
get that
difference,
right.
please?
Yes, because you can have phased offers could be like in week 1, you're only delivering up to certain percentage of selected products. Week 2 can be that plus something else like free shipping. And then when you have your actual Black Friday sale, it could be something else that just kind of makes it pop off more. So I definitely feel like the strongest sale offer needs to be over that weekend because people know that that's the weekend when everyone will be on offer. So sales behavior does show peak over that weekend. So there's no debate around that. That's data, that's statistics. So it's just a matter of how do you still make a profit in the weeks leading up.
so I think that's where we're getting to with like the gamifying it. Like, how do you get that? How do you get that customer, keep that customer engaged? That is either like, oh, I'm gonna I want this particular item, but I know that I'm going to get like free shipping or another 10% if I wait 2 weeks, but like then it might sell out. Like, how do you? And they might go, then your competitor might come through with an extra 5%. Like, what do you do?
Lean into that. I think you can clearly communicate that your discounts are going to change over time, but also products are going to sell out. And
Yeah.
the way that I would do it is I'd increase the discount as time goes by up in the lead up to Black Friday, and then the highest discount is on Black Friday. But you let everyone know so they know that things are going to sell out and things are going to get cheaper over time.
Yeah.
But they might run out.
Pushing that that exclusivity, that limited, that's the messaging, right? It's like, basically saying you can wait for another 10%, but it's not going to be there.
It works particularly well for like shoe brands or clothing brands because obviously people are looking for a specific size.
Yeah.
Not so much for barbecues. If I'm only getting 5% off a barbecue, I'm probably not going to buy it. 50%, yes.
Okay, so 50% my business tanks.
That sucks to be you.
Okay, so let's get like tactical. This is the tactical bit, and this is the bit that I will understand the least, so I will be using my bell, which I no longer have, so I will be reclaiming that. But what I have in front of me is what you guys have told me is basically like the phases of Black Friday, right? So these are prep phase, offer strategy, channel mix, timing and cadence, retention and post-sale, and budget/discount trade-off. So I'm just putting it out there. Tell me about the prep phase and tell me really fast.
So prep phase is what we've mentioned before, is making sure you spend a lot more budget than you would usually do at top of funnel over this next 8 weeks before Black Friday offer actually goes live. Making sure that your email comms go out about the offer and teasing that offers that are coming out. Making sure that people choose you as part of their budget plan for November to spend with you.
It's about the tech side of it too. Can your website handle a huge uplift in traffic? Is your checkout journey seamless? Uh,
Is your shipping
is your shipping sorted? Is your
Black Friday
UX sorted?
pages?
Yeah, it's
Do you have the widgets in place in your cart and your checkout to make sure
Yeah.
that you maximize the gamification part of it?
But it's also about your tracking. Is your tracking templates is your tracking working?
Yeah, your events firing.
That's key. If your conversion API, for example, if you're an e-com store, isn't working properly, you're missing out on huge return because you need, especially for Meta and Google, you need your tracking pixels to be. Daryl agrees. Working properly, as you should, Daryl.
Okay, all right, prep phase, done. Start prepping a year ago. If you haven't, call us, we'll see what we can do. Offer strategy, someone.
You guys are going to completely disagree with me, but the bigger the better. I think it's about getting rid of your old stock for cheap, yes, but people are expecting big discounts, and then you can turn them into return customers after that.
I think understand your customer, understand what they've been browsing, what they're looking for, and really understand your profit margins. So you're not eating into your revenue. So bundle up based on your top, sought after products.
Oh, no, Anne-Laure, no. Channel mix.
I would say social heavy in the lead up to for brand discovery, just to build that top of funnel audience, just to increase your audience pool, and then diversify it towards Black Friday. What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, for if you're running email, SMS. I love Meta. Meta's my baby forever. Meta for life. Google, if you're already running Google, make sure that you're changing your headlines to say Black Friday, particularly for your brand campaigns. I wouldn't increase my budgets on Google, probably. Would you, guys? You would.
It depends on the brand. If there's
Interesting.
competitors or if it's a multi-brand.
Maybe for Google Google Shopping, PMX, yes.
Even search.
Search.
Right.
Okay. Disagree with me, my darling.
So, yes, Google's important because you've got your existing customers coming in.
Yeah.
From what I've experienced is in Google, your brand search campaign is the one that will pop off. So making sure you've got more investment going in that because people are looking for your brand, especially if you've got resellers for your brand. It's very important to fit more into that because we know it's our existing customers coming back. They're going to look for you in Google. And if you've got competitors who are bidding on your name, you need to make sure you show up.
Okay, so channel mix, everything.
Everything. I'd still say everything.
What do you think about bidding on competitors?
Yeah, I completely ethically disagree with that one.
I don't think you need to bid on competitors on Black Friday. You need to focus on your own brand, invest in your own brand campaign because it's returning customers.
Focus on yourself. Okay, retention and post-sale.
Email.
Say it louder.
Email them. Make sure you're asking for reviews as well.
Okay, tell me more about reviews.
We love a post-purchase review flow.
And how do we make it easier for customers to write those reviews?
We send them an email telling them to do it. Yeah, or SMS works too. I wouldn't do it on any other platform.
I think be very careful and be prepped for angry customers. There's a really high expectation during Black Friday around deliveries and, there's a lot of chaos. So make sure you communicate that on your page, on your Black Friday page.
Yeah.
And just get ready to have a really busy customer service team.
As well as your post-purchase flow comms, just to update that over that period.
So just like keeping everyone, like managing the expectations around delivery and just kind of communication timelines.
And what you also should make sure you do is to edit your abandoned cart flow to not say get 10% off if your actual
if you've got that set up as a BAU.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like in a way that kind of brings us all the way back to prep phase is just sort of like making sure all of your like systems and interfaces are like set up so that you're not sort of shooting yourself in the foot with like, additional admin pre or post Black Friday. Okay, back to some scenarios. Kenny, you are a high-end lighting brand. You sell $2,000 lamps. high margin, low frequency. I'm going to add the stipulation that you are a brand that's like very sort of like conscious of your, reputation and your aesthetic, I suppose. So you are against sale, you're against discounting. That's what you're working with. Say they're your client. What would you advise?
When it comes to luxury, it's really about the experience. So what I would recommend is, really understanding and knowing what your customers are looking for. So I would segment the database based on product browsing. And if you don't want to go out to the public with a sale, just offer them something exclusive to that single database. Lean into the experience, make it feel premium, make it feel unique, and make it feel like it's only special to them and not sort of open to everyone.
I feel like, Nikki, you've got some thoughts on this type of business.
I do. Lots of our brands don't like a sale, don't want to be known for discounting, which is completely fair enough. I think in that case, it's going in on double rewards weekends or double rewards days, triple rewards days. And then, as Kenny said, gift with purchase, make it special gift with purchase. That tends to work really, really well.
So something that just like it elevates, it doesn't diminish their sort of like brand identity, but they're able to participate in this, what is, we know, the biggest shopping weekend of the year, right? So whether, it doesn't matter who you are, you want to capture that customer that is like attuned to that.
It's like giving back to your customers. You can view it like that versus just as a big money grab.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to put it. It would be sort of a giving back. I think consumers are at shopping. There's no denying that. So lean into it and do your own take and provide value. And I think giving back would be a really good idea for luxury brands.
And have you guys, like, and Laurie included, I know you're micless right now, but like, have you actually, you've seen results from those types of strategies, like not doing like a Black Friday sale, but offering, double rewards and other benefits?
They definitely don't see the huge revenue spike that Black Friday sales bring, but they do see a spike. Gift with purchase campaigns always work, no matter the time of year. And it can also be quite a profit-friendly way to do it. So
helps with average order value as well.
Yeah, huge average order value. You can gamify it again by having multiple levels. I love a gift with purchase.
I mean, so I feel like basically what I've gotten over the course of this whole conversation is that like there is obviously no one hard and fast rule, because there is no one hard and fast business or consumer. It's so important. Obviously, and as you've said, the best time to have started planning for Black Friday was the day after Black Friday last year, right? But we've got 8 weeks to go. It seems like the most kind of crucial takeaway is know your own audience and talk to them and give them what they want, right?
Yes, but still protect yourself by understanding where your business is, what your business needs, and by working with your financial teams to understand that if you have got this discount and this offer and it's run over this peak period, what are the outcomes going to be if we sell this many products? You need to still financially plan. It's not just about marketing and pushing sales, because at the end of the day, you are a business. You've got mouths to feed. You've got profit to make. So focus on that.
I think also you can just go in with making sure your funnel is working to the best of its ability. So feed that funnel, but make it like creative, for example, making sure you're taking analysis of what creators have worked really well for you over the past few months or overall, making variations of that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about creative earlier, and sorry to default to Kenny, but like, you're our sort of like brand creative brain here. What are some, I suppose, just kind of like some hot tips or some insights around creative for maybe like a couple of different brands?
Nikki said it right. It's understand what's worked in the past for your brand. The typical advice is The more volume, the better. But I think you need a like a strategic approach when it comes to creative. So you know when one pillar, one approach works, then you double down on it and you pivot. So have a look at what's worked in the past. Have a look at what people have engaged with in the past. That'll sort of give you insight into the products they are after or the products that attract audiences, and create a lot of variations. Get really creative. Take reels into account. Video is increasingly the the format that most people spend time on, specifically reels. Uh, do carousels, do statics, play around with grids, lifestyle shots. Even types of cameras. Do film, do your classic digital. You get really, really creative. If you can do a shoot even bespoke for Black Friday, that would be amazing. And even leverage creators. I don't think that's something I've seen during Black Friday.
I was going to say, like, yeah, would you sort of bring like content creators or influencers, or is there enough time now? Like, is that sort of something that you would still be saying, like, yeah, like let's sort that out and it'll make a difference?
I think it's definitely an untapped opportunity, and the key thing about creators is they allow you to step out of your brand guidelines because they'll bring out their own approach of the brand. So give them the reins and they'll do something that will be impactful.
Would you say that that would be like quite a helpful sort of alternative, I suppose, for, like one of those more like, say, like a premium brand that doesn't want to just like slap a sales sticker on, a beautiful campaign. But if they partnered with a creator, it does, as you say, like it's sort of an excuse to get out of your brand guidelines. People won't expect that person to be as sort of, perfect and polished and on brand. And so it's sort of like
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't think a lot of creators might be up for it, but expect a lot of red, a lot of sale signs, expect a lot of sort of saturation out in the market, and play around that. Play with contrast, play with motion, variation of formats, execution styles, and you'll see the rewards.
I definitely agree on most of that. But what my experience in New Zealand has told me is that Kiwis are basic. Tell them what's on offer and get on with it. Absolutely nothing against using content sponsorships and partnerships with other people to support the credibility of the products. But these, again, are people who already know your brand. Just get the message through.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think basic is best. It's 20% off statics work really well for Black Friday, as hard as that is to agree with, because we don't say that for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We say use UGC, use content creators, but that's why you see really basic ads for Rebel Sport, Briscoes, the big boy brands with 40% off, and that everyone's in their stores. And then also, if you have a founder-led brand, founder-led videos can be a really easy way to create not so much ads, but maybe communicating all of those key customer service kind of points, like thanks so much for the order, guys, all of the orders, guys. Shipping is going to take an extra week. Just bear with us, etc., etc. You can use it as a way, retention, going back to retention, to build that customer relationship and get them to purchase from you again.
And humanizing, I suppose, in a sea of those like just black, red, yellow logoed creatives. Okay, I am going to just break it all down now. If nothing else, what's one thing brands absolutely must do to cut through this year?
I would say make sure that you've got a lot of creative variations to test, so that and making sure, you've got a clear offer. What would you say?
Yeah, I think variations is good, and also don't offer the same offer you've been doing all year. Do something different.
And make sure your tracking is sorted. That's my number one. I've changed my mind.
I would hammer on focusing on feeding the top of the funnel. Because your existing customers are already your existing customers that you're going to be pushing your ad spend to, and that you're going to get most of your purchases to. But if you are top of mind over the next month leading into Black Friday, communications around what you might be offering and teasing that offer, you might get a solid pool that would allow you to actually get more bang for your buck compared to the previous year, because you've done the prep work, the hard yards, feeding that funnel.
My other big thing, this is more of a tactical thing, would be to, if you are running ads, make sure that your campaigns go live. We've seen heaps of technical issues lately across ad accounts with campaigns just not going live when they're scheduled for. So making sure that you've got eyes on.
Have a clear plan, but also be ready to pivot. If it's not working,
Yes,
change it.
yeah, totally. Yeah, Daryl agrees.
Daryl agrees.
Okay, so all of that being said, so you've got one do, one don't for Black Friday 2025. Nikki?
Take the data that you've already got from your past sales that you've run this year and last year's Black Friday and learn from those mistakes or wins. Don't ignore tracking issues. Just don't do it. Yeah. You'll miss out on so much return. It's not worth it.
I'd say do protect your margins and don't have a fixed strategy. Be flexible.
Top of funnel. Focus on that top. You need to focus on that top to get the rewards from for your Black Friday period with retargeting strategy. And then the don'ts. Don't go in with a blanket high discount site-wide, especially if you can't sustain it for the entire period.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I hope that was very informative. I certainly learned a lot. And if you haven't started your Black Friday planning yet, don't think that it's too late. There's still a lot we can do in the next 8 weeks. So feel free to reach out to us at hello@ph.digital and we will get you on track.